Hello and welcome to today's episode of Simple Business Dream Life with me, Emma Hine. If right now your business feels messy or like your income is up and down and you can't quite put your finger on why, today I want to tell you why you need to look at your offers. Not your content, not whether you're posting about your offers enough, not whether you need to be more visible in more rooms or investing in one more thing, just your offers. Because what I see all the time with the business owners I work with is that somewhere along the way, your offer suite becomes complicated. You've got multiple things that you sell. Maybe you've got a low ticket offer because you were told you needed one. You've got something higher ticket. Maybe there's something you tried to turn passive at some point. Maybe there's an old offer still sitting there that you don't really talk about anymore. But technically, if somebody wants it, it's there. And on paper, it looks like a business. You've got lots of stuff to sell, but it doesn't feel like one. It feels busy, it feels unclear, and more than anything, it feels inconsistent. It is inconsistent. You're showing up and selling, but what you're selling is constantly changing. You're creating content, but it's constantly pointing people in different directions towards different offers. And so your income is reflecting that. It comes in, then it drops. And then you're back trying to figure out what to push next. And I just want to say this isn't because you're doing it wrong. This is what you've been taught. This is what you assume you should be doing. You've been taught that growth comes from adding more offers, more entry points for your clients, more ways for people to buy from you. But what actually happens is you end up building a business that has lots of stuff, so it looks super busy, but it has no real structure underneath it. And that's when growth plateaus. That's when you start to feel those feast and famine moments because your energy is split, your message is diluted, and your audience never quite knows what they're meant to do next. Now, I've been there myself. I built a business that from the outside looked incredibly successful. We had multiple products, lots of moving parts, money coming in. But behind the scenes, it was so heavy. Everything relied on me. Everything needed attention. Every sale needed effort. And there was no real sense of simplicity in it. It was just a lot. And I see this over and over again with my clients too. Most businesses, in my experience, don't need more offers. They need better offers and they need to make them actually make sense together. So if your business feels stuck right now, I want you to gently hold up a mirror because there are three things I see over and over again when it comes to offers. And I want you to hold that mirror up and look at yourself with all of these three things. The first one is this. You don't have a core offer. You might have a few things you sell, but there isn't one core offer, one clear offer that your business is built around. There isn't one thing that, if sold consistently, would change everything in your business. Instead, it's more like 1 week you're talking about this offer, next week you're talking about something else. Then you're promoting something brand new because they didn't quite land the way that you hoped. And what that does is it creates this constant feeling of starting again. And it's confusing your audience too. Your audience never fully catch up. They never fully understand what you're known for. And you never get the benefit of momentum. That snowball doesn't keep rolling because you keep stopping it and slowing it down. Unintentionally, of course. Real growth comes from doing and seeing things over and over again. It comes from people seeing the same message, the same offer, the same result again and again and again until it clicks. And if that offer keeps changing, it never clicks. And that is the problem. So what you actually need is one core offer. One offer that solves the main problem your audience has. One offer that you can talk about consistently, refine over time, and build the rest of your business around. Because everything else should support that offer. lead into it, warm people up for it, never compete with it. The second thing I see is that even when there are multiple offers that actually are great offers, there's no clear journey between them. And this one is pretty huge because I'll often ask somebody, so if somebody buys this, what do they do next? And there's no real answer. It's just, well, I suppose they could buy this or maybe this, or I haven't really thought about that. And again, this is why things feel inconsistent in your business because your offers should be guiding people. They should feel like stepping stones, like someone comes into your world at one level and there's a natural next step when they're ready. Instead, most people have a menu, and menus create hesitation and overwhelm. And overwhelmed people do not buy, or if they do, they often buy the wrong thing. And if the thing isn't right for them, they're going to look at you first and think that it's you that isn't able to help them. If you've ever been to a restaurant with a massive menu, you know this feeling. You scan it, you're overwhelmed, you're not really sure what to choose, so you just pick something quickly, or do you know what? You don't even bother. That's what your audience is experiencing when you keep putting different things out there. Whereas when it's simple, when it's clear, decision making becomes easier. So this is about asking yourself, do each of my offers have a role? Do they connect? Do they build on each other? Do they lead somewhere? There needs to be a thread, a link that runs through all of them. Because when that's in place, your business starts to flow so much more naturally. And then the third thing, and this is the one that creates the most pressure for people, and this is that people don't have recurring or repeatable revenue in their business. So everything relies on you selling it all of the time. And I see this a lot. You sell something, you have a really good month, money comes in, and then it drops off because you've stopped selling it. So that's the moment of, okay, I need to do that again. So you create something new, or you relaunch something, or you push a different offer. And maybe it works a bit, but then it drops again. And you end up in this constant cycle of chasing your next sale. It's exhausting. Can you feel this? And more than that, it's keeping you stuck. Because all of your energy is going into short-term income instead of building something stable and sustainable. And at some point, your business needs something that brings in money more consistently. That could be, I don't know, ongoing support. It could be a longer-term container, a mastermind, a membership, something like that. It could be something that people stay in, not just buy once and leave. But there needs to be something that creates that baseline income for you, because that gives you the breathing space, because that's what allows you to actually grow instead of constantly rebuilding. So if you're listening to this and thinking, I see myself in this, I want you to know it's fixable. But the answer isn't to go and create another offer. The answer is to pause, to look at what you already have. Where are you overcomplicating things? Where are you splitting your energy? What would it look like to strip this back to one core offer, a simple journey, and something that supports consistent income? Because when you simplify this, when you get this right, everything else becomes easier. Your messaging becomes clearer because you're not trying to talk about 5 or 6 different things at once. Your content has direction because it's actually leading somewhere. Your sales feel more natural because people actually understand what you do and how you help them. And your business starts to feel like something that supports you, not something you're constantly trying to keep up with. This is the work I do with my clients. Stripping things back, removing the noise, building a business that is simple but strong. So if this is landed for you, go and look at your offers. And if you need some support to properly simplify this and build something that actually works, you know where I am. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you next time.